Was a certain comic book enthusiast girlfriend keeping an eye on some dinos? Did a Cheesecake Factory waitress have a baby at the same time as Pam Beesly? The cast of The Big Bang Theory have shown up in some surprising places. The Big Bang Theory almost certainly wouldn't have been as enormous as it was without Jim Parsons as Sheldon Cooper. Right from the beginning, the team behind the show knew he was the right choice for the role. As co-creator Bill Prady recalled on the Hollywood at Home with the Creative Coalition podcast, when Jim Parsons came in, he was Sheldon on a level. You know, there were people who came in and you went, okay, well, he's kind of okay. Oh, he's pretty good, maybe he's the guy. And Jim came in and he was just, from that audition, he was the Sheldon that you saw on television.
Bazinga!
During his time on Big Bang, Parsons was also a prolific stage performer, making his debut on Broadway in The Normal Heart in 2011. If you saw him before he started playing Sheldon, chances are it was his small part in 2004's Garden State. His other notable film roles include 2016's Hidden Figures and the 2022 romantic dramedy Spoiler Alert. Leonard Hofstadter, Sheldon's perpetually annoyed roommate and colleague, was played by sitcom mainstay Johnny Galecki. Galecki actually said no to the role 5 times before finally accepting, as he worried that it would be a step backwards in his career, and also because he was originally approached to play Sheldon. Thankfully, though, he eventually signed on, and the rest is sitcom history. If you're a TV buff, you probably remember Galecki from Roseanne, on which he played David Healy, love interest to Sarah Gilbert's Darlene Connor. Gilbert also had a recurring role on Big Bang as scientist Leslie Winkle, and on and off love interest for Leonard. Galecki reprised the part of David on a few episodes of the Roseanne spin-off The Connors, but he's otherwise largely stepped out of the spotlight in recent years, living in Tennessee with his family. As played by Simon Helberg, Howard Wolowitz starts off as a sleazy would-be Lothario, but eventually grows out of that childish behavior when he becomes a husband and father. Before Big Bang, Helberg popped up in tiny roles in movies like A Cinderella Story and Good Night and Good Luck, as well as one episode of Arrested Development. And during the 2007 to 2008 Writers Guild strike, he had a supporting role in Joss Whedon's web series Dr. Horrible's Sing-Along blog. During Big Bang's time on the air, Helberg also starred in notable films like A Serious Man and Florence Foster Jenkins. Since the show ended, his most prominent gig has probably been a recurring part as an FBI agent on the Peacock detective series Poker Face. As played by Kunal Nayyar, astrophysicist Raj Koothrappali was the resident hopeless romantic of the group, but Nayyar reportedly almost missed out on the role because CBS wanted to find someone else. Fortunately, though, creator Chuck Lorre stepped in and fought hard for him to remain on the show. His resume before Big Bang is pretty thin, besides an uncredited part on an episode of NCIS in 2007. In 2020, Nayyar appeared on an episode of Criminal UK, and then he played a leading role on the 2022 British series Suspicion. In 2025, he told the New York Post that he would absolutely play Raj again, as he joked, "I think that would obviously have to mature a little bit. Even though the show ended in 2019, it's still on every single day, so it feels like even though the show is over, it's still on."
I was worried one of us was going to be killed off in the finale, so...
As the least scientifically inclined member of the core gang, Penny was basically the audience surrogate on Big Bang. But Kaley Cuoco wasn't originally the lead female cast member. Instead, an unaired pilot featured a different character named Katie, played by Amanda Walsh. But after Katie performed poorly in test screenings, Walsh was axed and Cuoco was brought on board. Before Big Bang, Cuoco was probably best known for the ABC sitcom 8 Simple Rules as Bridget Hennessy, the older daughter of overprotective dad Paul, played by the late, great John Ritter.
I mean, how would you like it if I came home and said I was pregnant?
Cuoco has remained busy after playing Penny for 12 seasons. In 2017, she inked a deal with Warner Brothers through her production company Yes Norman. Through that deal, she's helped to create and star on shows like The Flight Attendant and the animated Harley Quinn. You can also see her in movies like the Peacock original Meet Cute and Amazon Prime's Role Play. When we first meet Mayim Bialik's Amy Farrah Fowler, it seems like she's just a female version of Sheldon Cooper, although she eventually becomes a unique character in her own right, particularly thanks to her tight-knit friendship with Penny and Bernadette. Bialik was already a longtime TV veteran by that point, having starred as the title character on the NBC sitcom Blossom from 1991 to 1995. But after that show ended, she largely stepped away from acting until Big Bang. After her stint as Amy ended, Bialik went on to star as the title character on the Fox sitcom Call Me Kat from 2021 to 2023, and also served as a host of Jeopardy in that same time frame. Then in 2025, she guest starred alongside her former Big Bang co-star Melissa Rauch on the rebooted version of Night Court, and she also keeps busy with a podcast called Bialik Breakdown. Melissa Rauch wasn't an original cast member on The Big Bang Theory, but it's tough to imagine the show without Bernadette. Just before landing her audition for The Big Bang, Rauch's career was in a precarious situation. As she revealed to First for Women in 2025, "I owe so much to that show. I was at the unemployment office the week before I got the job, driving around LA crying in my car." What was originally meant to be a guest role ended up extending into multiple seasons. As Rauch recalled, "I remember walking onto that set, I thought, oh my gosh, this is so cool, and I can't believe I just got to be here for these next 5 days." So the fact that it turned into close to a decade still blows my mind, and I'm very, very grateful.
I really do believe, everyone can relate to being an underdog at some point in their lives.
If you're a millennial who was glued to cable TV in the early 2000s, you may remember Rauch as a panelist on VH1's pop culture recap show Best Week Ever. She also had small parts on shows like The Office and True Blood. Then from 2023 to 2025, she led the revival of Night Court as Judge Abby Stone. Stuart Bloom was one of the biggest recurring characters on The Big Bang Theory, so much so that he was even upgraded to main character status beginning in Season 8. Played by Kevin Sussman, Stuart owns and operates the comic book store that Sheldon, Leonard, Raj, and Howard frequent. Sussman almost couldn't even join The Big Bang Theory because of a previous commitment to the ABC workplace comedy Ugly Betty, on which he played the character of Walter in Season 1. During his time on Big Bang, Sussman also appeared on shows like Weeds, Wet Hot American Summer, First Day of Camp, and The Mentalist. His later TV credits include The Dropout, Better Call Saul, and Lessons in Chemistry. Plus, he's set to play Stuart once again in the Big Bang spin-off Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Lauren Lapkus only played artist and comic book enthusiast Denise on 8 episodes of The Big Bang Theory, but she's still a vitally important character as she and Stuart are dating by the end of the series. Even though Lapkus joined the show late in its run, she was happy to be a part of the ensemble. As she told PopCulture.com in 2012, "It was really cool to come into something where it was so established, of course, and had been on for so long and they all knew each other so well. To come into that was really great because they were excited about guests coming in and shaking up the energy, having different people there." For the uninitiated, Lapkus is a comedy powerhouse. Her most notable big screen credit is probably 2015's Jurassic World, while her TV resume is pretty stacked, including the likes of Drunk History, Key and Peele, Good Girls, and Orange is the New Black. If you want to do a deep dive on Lapkus, then check out her YouTube series The Earliest Show or her episode of Netflix's anthology The Characters. She's also set to play Denise again on Stuart Fails to Save the Universe.
I'll see you guys on the world tour. First up, Zimbabwe.
Geologist Bert Kibler was only on 15 episodes of The Big Bang Theory, but Brian Posehn is always a welcome presence. He's been a regular on TV screens since the mid-90s when he was a writer and recurring cast member on Mr. Show with Bob and David, the HBO sketch series led by Bob Odenkirk and David Cross. Posehn was also a regular member on the Sarah Silverman program, had a recurring role as a teacher on New Girl, and has popped up on other shows like Community and Anger Management. And he's also set to play Bert a little bit more on Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Perhaps Sheldon and Leonard's most notorious nemesis, plasma physicist Barry Kripke, is also known for his rhoticism, meaning that he pronounces his R's and L's like W's, much like Elmer Fudd.
Let's settle this wabato a wabato.
As for the guy who played him, John Ross Bowie, he's been acting steadily for decades. His wide-ranging TV credits include episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm, Charmed, Children's Hospital, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Happy Endings, and Veep, just to name a few. And from 2016 to 2019, he was a main cast member on the ABC sitcom Speechless. Plus, he's also set to play Kripke again on Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Laurie Metcalf played Sheldon's mother Mary in 14 episodes, beginning in the first season. And the character has remained in the family, as Metcalf's daughter Zoe Perry played her on the Big Bang prequel Young Sheldon. If you're unfamiliar with Metcalf's body of work, you may want to change that. She's won 4 Emmys and 2 Tonys over the course of her career, and was also Oscar-nominated for the 2017 coming-of-age movie Lady Bird. Like Johnny Galecki, she was also a big part of Roseanne, as she played Jackie Harris, sister of the title character. Her other notable TV credits include Third Rock from the Sun, Monk, and Desperate Housewives, just to name a few. And on the big screen, you may have seen her in Scream 2 and Desperately Seeking Susan. Christine Baranski's Beverly Hofstadter is easily the most intimidating extended family member on The Big Bang Theory, as she tends to psychoanalyze her son Leonard instead of actually parenting him. But while Beverly may be tough to love, the same cannot be said of Baranski, as she's been delivering beloved performances for decades. In a career filled with highlights, perhaps the most high-profile were Mamma Mia and its sequel, Mamma Mia 2, Here We Go Again. Her other notable big screen credits include the live-action version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Cruel Intentions, The Birdcage, and Chicago. On the small screen, she played lawyer Diane Lockhart on all 7 seasons of The Good Wife from 2009 to 2016. That led to the spin-off series The Good Fight, which ran for 6 seasons from 2017 to 2022. As of 2022, she's been one of the main cast members on the HBO period drama The Gilded Age, and back in the 90s, she was one of the stars of the sitcom Sybil, which was created by future Big Bang creator Chuck Lorre. Baranski is also a major Broadway star, having performed in everything from Follies to A Little Night Music.